Have you ever really thought about it? When you click buy on a trade, who's on the other side selling it to you? It seems so simple, right? You and your broker. But that relationship, well, it's one of the most misunderstood parts of trading. So let's talk about how they really work.
Okay, so to get our heads around this, we're going to ditch the charts and the jargon for a minute. Instead, I want you to picture this. Two famous frenemies, Batman and Spider-Man, just chilling on a couch. What they're about to do is make a simple bet that, believe it or not, explains pretty much everything you need to know.
All right, so here's the scene. Our heroes are bored out of their minds, and an idea pops up. They decide to make a little bet on the price of a currency pair, the British pound versus the US dollar, or as you know it, GBP/USD.
So Spider-Man throws out this idea of a simple guessing game. But this is Batman we're talking about. He's not just going to take Spidey's word for anything. Before he agrees, he whips out his bat phone to check the price for himself. You know, gotta be sure.
He looks it up, and yep, he confirms the starting price for one British pound is exactly 1.40000 US dollars. Okay, looks legit. Batman's in. He bets the price is going to go up.
And what do you know? He's right. An hour goes by, and the price climbs up to 1.4100. Now that's a move of 100 pips. A pip is just that last decimal point in the price, so it's a super tiny unit of change.
And here's the punchline. Batman wins, he's feeling pretty good, and Spider-Man tosses him his payout. A single penny. Yeah, a penny. See, because he only bet on one single unit of the currency, that 100-pip move earned him just 1 measly cent. Not exactly retirement money, right?
Batman is, let's just say, not impressed. He wants to make this thing interesting. He wants to place a bigger bet. And this is where their little wager starts to look a whole lot more like the Forex trading we all know.
Spider-Man is game for a bigger bet, but he has one rule. He tells Batman, look, I need some security here in case you lose. How about you give me 20 bucks as collateral? If Batman wins, he gets his 20 back. If he loses, well, Spider-Man keeps it to cover the loss. Fair enough.
And now for the magic trick, the real secret sauce of retail trading, leverage. Spider-Man doesn't actually have 10,000 pounds just lying around. He just kind of, poof, creates an imaginary position for Batman to trade with. This leverage totally blows up the bet. Now, every single pip move isn't worth a fraction of a cent anymore. It's worth a full dollar.
So Batman takes the bet again. The price jumps 200 pips in his direction. And since every pip is now worth $1, bam! He's just won 200 bucks. Spider-Man pays him the 200 and gives him his original $20 collateral back. Just like that, Batman turned $20 into 220.
You know how it is. He's feeling it. Flushed with success, Batman decides to go for the hat trick. He wants to go even bigger. This time, he puts up his fresh $200 winnings as collateral, and he's aiming for a huge profit, like $3,000.
And you're not going to believe it. The market moves his way again. The price just skyrockets 300 pips. At $10 a pip now, he's just won $3 grand. He turns to a kind of sheepish-looking Spider-Man to collect his winnings, only to hear the 5 words no trader on Earth ever wants to hear.
Spidey admits he never had the money to cover a win that big. And before Batman can even process what's happening, Spider-Man shoots a web, swings off, and just vanishes, taking Batman's $200 collateral with him. The house, as they say, just went bust.
So, what in the world does a story about superheroes gambling on a couch have to do with your trading account? Well, it turns out, everything. This little story is actually a perfect analogy for how a whole lot of retail Forex brokers really operate.
Okay, so it's time to pull back the curtain. This wasn't just a story about two dudes hanging out. It was a model of the market. And the characters, well, they weren't just characters. Who do you think they represent in the real world of trading? And the answer to that question reveals maybe the most important thing to understand about retail trading. In our story, Batman, he's you. He's the retail trader. And Spider-Man, he's the broker. This means that in this very common setup, you're not actually trading in some big open market. You are making a direct bet against your broker. Your profit is literally their law.
So now that we know who's who, let's go back and break down some of the key moments in that story. We're going to translate them from superhero shenanigans into critical trading concepts that you absolutely need to get.
Remember that moment, the climax of our story, where Spider-Man just couldn't pay up.
This isn't just a plot twist in a funny story. It represents a very real, fundamental risk in the world of trading.
It's what we call counterparty risk. See, since the broker is the counterparty to your trade, they're the one taking the other side of your bet, you are completely relying on them to be able to pay you when you win. If they can't, your profits and maybe even your deposit could just vanish, just like Spider-Man did.
Let's rewind a bit to a smaller moment in the story. Remember when Spider-Man all of a sudden changed the price on Batman right before he placed his bet? That might seem like a small detail, but it actually points to another huge concept.
That's called slippage. It's that little difference between the price you think you're getting when you click and the price you actually get. Because a broker like Spider-Man effectively is the market for you. They control the price feeds you see. And it's a constant reminder of who's really holding the cards.
So this little superhero drama, it's not just a warning, it's a practical guide. It teaches us the kinds of tough, important questions every single trader should be asking before they ever risk a single dollar.
We've got to learn from Batman's mistakes here. He should have been asking, who am I really trading against? Is it you, the broker? Am I even trading real currency, or am I just betting against you on where the price is going to go? And maybe the most important question of all is about that counterparty risk. If I win big, can you prove to me that you can actually pay me? Asking these questions is what separates a smart trader from, well, someone who gets left in the dark.
Now look, most brokers aren't comic book villains trying to trick you, but our little story does reveal a fundamental truth. In the most common retail model, their business interests might not always line up with your success. It's so important to understand that other broker models do exist, ones that don't put you in a direct bet against them. And that really leaves us with the one critical question you have to ask yourself. Your broker is your partner in the markets, but have you done your homework to make sure they're actually on your team?